Hey guys, I'm back. So I know that my last video that I did was a bit of a downer, so I wanted to kind of move forward from that. My birthday is this week, and I want to focus on moving forward and doing positive from this point on as much as I possibly can. So I want to mix things up just a little bit again for you, and I want to share some random facts about myself. So I'm going to give you the list of 33 random things about Lindsay. First, I actually used to be a cat person, and now I am a dog person with 3 rescues. And in fact, I was so much more a cat person. I was actually afraid of dogs, so I don't know at what point it really flipped, but now I can't even imagine having a cat over a dog. So random fact number 1. Number 2, I'm actually a 2-time Royal Caribbean word search champion. I've been on a couple of cruises and thought, we'll just see. I've always kind of done them, thought we'll just see what happens. And I have now won twice on a cruise ship. Super random, 6,000 people on a cruise ship. I don't know, just kind of a random thing. Number 3, I've actually auditioned for several shows, but I've never quite made it big just yet. The first show that I ever auditioned for was actually American Idol, and, I can say that I did it. We'll just leave it at that. The show that I actually auditioned for before that was a show that used to be on the air called Don't Forget the Lyrics, and I actually made it all the way to one of the first sets of producers, and fun fact, several years after that, apparently someone had hung on to my information, and they actually reached out to me probably about 6 or 7 years later. I was already married at this point, and someone from a Jerry Springer show, I won't even mention what show it is, but it's a dating show that is hosted by Jerry Springer, and they were going to pay me to come on the show. It wasn't the Jerry Springer show, but so somebody hung on to my information for like 6 years after that. That was kind of cool. The other thing is that Wes and I did an Ask Us Anything on Reddit. You can actually look it up still. That we are a couple who are both in wheelchairs. Ask Us Anything. And this past year, another producer from a different show, I won't mention that name either because it never quite panned out, and it may still, so I don't want to blow that just yet in case that does happen. But anyway, this guy saw our Ask Us Anything and was really, really interested in our story, and actually did an audition, so to speak. Like, we did just a Q&A and did a video with them, and you never know, you may still see me down the road. We'll see. But yeah, so I've actually auditioned for a few shows, but yeah, it's never really panned out for me. I also have actually been in a music video for my friend Stevenson Everett. So if you haven't heard of him, look him up. But he allowed me to be in one of his music videos, and it actually made it on to CMT. So that was kind of surreal to be flipping through the channels and just happen to see the music video that I was in. So I've gotten to do some kind of cool random things. I've actually not really auditioned, but I was also in the audience for Jimmy Kimmel one episode, and one of David Letterman's last 25 shows. I've been in the audience for some country music award shows, like the CMT Awards one year, the CMA Awards a couple of years. You don't ever really see me in those. I don't really count any of the audience member ones, but still have done it. Definitely have been in a live studio audience situation multiple times at this point. But yeah, I, of course, if you all really, really know me, know that I actually really, really, really would love to be on the Ellen show. I'd love to just share my story with her and just be a part of her energy, as an audience member. Like, she does so much good in the world. I think it would be awesome to be able to be on her show. So, Ellen, if you're watching, just saying. Another interesting thing is that I actually have 5 siblings. 2 are step siblings and 3 are half siblings, but I'm technically an only child because I am my birth parents' only child together. So, next one. You all might realize that I'm obsessed with penguins and butterflies, which sounds really stupid and corny and whatever, but I actually have meaning behind both of those. I am obsessed with penguins because when Wes and I first got together, we had joked about the fact that I walked with a limp. We always joked because both of us have naturally red hair, and so we always joked that we would always have redheaded penguin babies if we ever had kids. The other obsession I have is butterflies, and I've always loved butterflies, but with the thyroid gland being the butterfly-shaped gland, butterflies have always had kind of a significance to me just in that, and yeah, that's kind of the significance of the butterflies and the penguins. And, you know, both are just so beautiful to watch and are just amazing in their own natural beauty. And, you know, we could all stand to be a little bit more penguin or butterfly-like, right? So, oh yeah, I am terrified of fireworks, heights, water, and flying. And I have done all of those at some point, but I'm terrified. And I have stories kind of behind most of those. That's for another video, another day. But yeah, I am totally afraid of all of those things. I'm actually an old soul at heart. I love the 50s style, you know, the housewife dresses and shows like I Love Lucy and Dick Van Dyke, and I don't know, there's just something really beautiful about that era and how women presented themselves and carried themselves. And I'm not saying anything sexist. I just loved the glitz and the glam and just the beauty and the way that people treated each other and like the simplicity of the 50s. So yeah, I just love the 50s. I love just that whole era of humor and, you know, without being dirty or inappropriate. It was just funny, classic, creative talent. And I love it. I could sit there and watch those old shows on loop every night. And I do, actually, a lot of times. So I'm Italian, Cherokee, and Irish, but you would think that I'm 100% Italian because I eat pasta, especially shrimp fettuccine alfredo, like I'm 100% Italian. Number 9. This is kind of embarrassing, but I'll always let him off the hook about this. But my grandfather always called me Honey Bucket growing up. Yeah, Honey Bucket. And, you know, it was always a term of endearment, and it actually wasn't until I was an adult, probably only a few years ago, actually, where I found out that there was an alternate meaning for the term Honey Bucket. So you can imagine my surprise on all of that. I actually went to college to study early childhood education, and then I don't know, just kind of lost my interest for doing that long term, and then met Wes around the same time, and the rest is history. Here we are doing YouTube videos. So, let's see. Random fact, but I actually love the smell of the cologne Acqua di Gio to the point that, like, any man within, like, a 20-mile radius, I can smell it on them. I don't know what it is about that scent, but I love it so much. Let's see. So another really weird random thing about me is that I literally will fill notebooks full of graph paper with repetitive designs. I've always done it since I was a kid, and I continue doing it. Like, I always have random notebooks laying around my house with notebooks just full of like floral designs and all kinds of just random stuff. Yeah, I'm weird. Let's see. My dream job, obviously. You guys probably already know the answer to this, but my dream job is to work for Keith Urban. And I have a really good reason. It is beyond just the thyroid cancer thing and when his music came into my life. Yes, that is a huge part of it. However, I love how invested he is into his fans. I love how appreciative he is. And yeah, he's the type of artist that I want to work for. Definitely my dream job is to work for somebody like him, doing fan club or social media or something like that. But yeah, definitely Keith Urban. I would drop almost anything in my life other than Wes to go work for Keith if he were to ask me. Just saying. Let's see. I do calligraphy. Again, old soul. I love it. I think it's beautiful. I was actually taught by one of the best calligraphers in the country. So, yeah, I actually took calligraphy lessons. So, you know, yeah, I'm a nerd. I can't help it. It's just my thing. Number 15 is I am double jointed. Yep, I am a weirdo. It freaks people out. I am super double jointed. Okay, so I've actually done several half marathons and a bunch of 5Ks in my everyday manual wheelchair, which is not super common, but I love it because it puts me in the same playing field as like an average runner. But yeah, I've done 2 or 3 half marathons and several 5Ks now at this point. I actually really like them. I was never athletic growing up. And so, yeah, it's kind of cool. I actually really enjoy it. Okay. I am obsessed with scary movies and paranormal activity movies and exorcisms and all of that stuff. I have no idea where my obsession comes from it, but I love it. I love the idea of, you know, whether it's a paranormal entity or God or whatever, I love the idea of something bigger than myself because I don't know. There's something about it. I think that we might be a little bit self-centered if we think that there's not more than just ourselves out there. So, I don't know. I think it's cool. Let's see. 18. So this is kind of a weird one too. I actually learned to talk when I was 6 months old. And I always joke that I learned to talk when I was 6 months old and I never shut up. But I learned to talk when I was 6 months old, but I didn't actually learn to walk until I was 3 years old. Again, because of my disability. Yeah, it's kind of backwards, but kind of random and kind of cool too. I've actually never broken a bone. Silly. Let's see. I love seafood. I hate celery. Celery is disgusting. It's so gross. I don't know how you people eat it. It's so gross. Let's see. I've actually been in the gym regularly for going on about 4 years now. If you guys knew me before, like all the thyroid cancer thing, you would understand like how crazy that is because I'm just not an athletic person. And so it's crazy to think like I do these 5Ks and half marathons and now I go to the gym all the time. And actually the reason I include that one is because you know, I started going to the gym as like okay, I don't know what else to do to make my health better, so I'm going to get in and just, you know, if the thyroid cancer thing doesn't get better, at least I've done something to improve my health. And I had just gotten really into my stride of everything, and I had probably built myself up to about being able to pull down about 80 pounds. And then I had to have my second thyroid surgery. So I was on a weight restriction of 25 pounds. And I remember leaving the gym just in tears because I couldn't even pull down 25 pounds that I was limited to. And now I can pull down over 125 pounds. So never forget how far you've come. Because it appreciates where you're at now. So don't ever forget that. That's kind of why I wanted to include that. And now, like, I can get on almost any random machine and almost do my entire body weight on any given machine, which is kind of crazy. Let's see. I love cold weather. Typical white girl thing to say, whatever. But actually my favorite place though, it totally contradicts that. I love LA. Of course it's, you know, sentimental to me because that's where Wes moved after we met. But yeah, I love LA, but I love cold weather. I am so hot natured. I can't stand to be hot and sweaty and gross. It's like, I hate this time of year. But, let's see. So really random. I suck at math. I'm so bad at math, to the point that like I've failed multiple math classes before. I was never good at math, but I'm freakishly good at like basic addition, like faster than calculators are sometimes. It's really kind of strange. It doesn't make sense at all. So yeah, gotta figure that one out. 25. So growing up, I always had a dream that I had a twin that I didn't know about. And for whatever reason, in my dreams, she would show up outside when I was sitting in the car waiting for my mom to go grocery shopping, and she would like force me to switch places with her, and then she would take over my spot. And like I never knew what happened to me in the dreams, but I dreamed that dream in different variations and in like different places for years. Like years. The twin had a name. The storyline was pretty much the same for the longest time, and like I don't know. It was just a recurring dream that happened. It's really strange. But then like I got older and it didn't continue. So I don't know. Maybe I have a twin out there. Who knows? Okay. So you guys have probably picked up on like, you know, I am a Christian. I don't love to focus on it because I know that not everybody believes that. That's fine. You know, to each their own, whatever. Personally though, I've actually had some really, really amazing protective moments that I kind of call God moments. And one of them was really strange. Actually, they were both really strange. They happened around the same time, probably about a year apart from each other. I was probably about 16, and I can't remember which one came first, but there was a moment where I was out with some friends to dinner. It was the week of Thanksgiving, and I was supposed to go on a trip snow skiing in March. So we're talking 4 months in advance, and I'm sitting there and we're talking about this trip, and my mom and I are like, we're on our drive back home from this restaurant, and we're still talking about this trip, and I start having a panic attack, like breathing into a paper sack, anxiety, don't want to go, freaking me out, can't explain it, don't want to go. Well, later on, fast forward, all these other people I'm supposed to go on this trip on with are still planning to go. I backed out, was like, I don't want to go. I just have this weird feeling, da 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 da. Well, there was an avalanche the week that we were supposed to go. I don't know. I can't explain it, but the fact that I had that moment 4 months before and then that happened and would have prevented me from going anyway, it's kind of interesting. I feel like maybe that was my way of not getting my hopes up about that trip. Who knows? And then the other one, I was actually leaving church. I was dating a guy in high school at the time. I was in high school too, for the record. This isn't like a weird story in that sense. But we always, like, he would drive me to my car, which would be in another parking lot that was like the halfway point between my house and his house. And he would always drop me off at my car, and then I would drive home from there. And one night, I just told him, I said, I feel really uncomfortable. I feel like I shouldn't drive home right now. Can we just sit here for a minute? He was like, okay, whatever. Yeah, that's fine. So the feeling kind of passed by. I was like, okay, I think I'm good. I'm going to go on home, whatever. Well, I get on the road, and I have this angel that's like hanging from my rearview mirror. It's like a crystal angel thing on a string and whatever. Well, at this point, it's crazy because I was the only one that saw this. And I know that this sounds crazy, but it was as if somebody had taken this angel on this string and spun it and then let it go, and it just kept spinning for several minutes. It wasn't just like 30 seconds or a minute. It was most of my drive back home. And the whole time I'm driving, I feel like somebody's guiding my hands, like holding on to my hands, helping me steer. And I get into the driveway, I make it home safe, but on the drive home, I pass by a semi that's flipped over. And I can't help but think that something protected me, stalled me just a few minutes to keep me protected so that I could get home okay. And the crazy thing about it wasn't necessarily just that. It was the fact that the moment that I pulled into my driveway, the angel stopped spinning. Just saying, you guys, I don't know if you believe or not, but if I didn't believe in something like that happened to me, you know, I don't know. I would have a hard time, not questioning that. So, I definitely feel like something was watching out for me those nights. I'm definitely a night owl. I am not a morning worm. I just am not a morning person. Like, 10 a.m. getting up for the day is a good day for me. I've always been that way. Never gonna grow out of that, apparently. But number 28. I love to bake. I actually thought that I wanted to go to school for a while to bake. Didn't really pan out, but I still like to bake anyway. My right leg is shorter than my left leg because I had surgery on both of my hips, and because they were both dislocated when I was born. The left one stayed in, the right one came back out. They fixed it again, it came back out, and since I could still walk at the time, they left it alone. But basically, because my hip is permanently out of socket now, my right leg is shorter than my left. So, you know, I mentioned how I'm terrible at math. Well, I was not so hot at Spanish when I was in high school. I took Spanish 1, did okay on it, not great. Took Spanish 2 because I had to. It was either that or take another foreign language all over again. Took Spanish 2, failed it, retook it, passed it, whatever. But, interesting, I can still pick up pretty good chunks of Spanish speaking. Like, I can pick up parts of conversations in, like, day-to-day conversations that I hear. So, yeah, some of it stuck, apparently, but still not great at it. I'd love to pick it back up. I hate white chocolate. It's disgusting. It's way too sweet. I love chocolate. White chocolate is awful. Like, it shouldn't even be called chocolate because it's so gross. I can't. I hate it. So, you guys know my love of music, but I was actually in advanced choir and took singing lessons growing up and into adulthood. And yeah, I've always loved the idea of being a singer. Wasn't necessarily realistic. I think I'm average at best. But that's why I like to promote other people that can sing. I kind of get to live vicariously through them. So, yeah. Yeah, that's 32. And I'm turning 33. And I'm going to end on the fact that I have a thing about odd numbers and how I can't, like, odd numbers really bug me. And I really hate that I'm ending on number 33. So, happy birthday to me. Yeah, I just really, really wanted to mix things up tonight for you guys. I know that my last video sucked. It was not, maybe not sucked as far as like video content, but for me on a personal level, I hate putting out content that is kind of negative, and I was not in a very good headspace. I wanted to be. I'm still working on it. But that's why I'm doing this tonight. I really, really wanted to focus on something a little bit more positive. So, hopefully you guys learned a little bit about me tonight. If you want me to do more lists like this, send me questions. I love doing Q&As, actually. I have no idea why. I don't even know if you guys really pay that much attention to them. But I'm going to keep doing them because they're kind of fun, and I feel like you get to learn a little bit more about me. Yeah, guys, that's it. I am actually, speaking of music, have a 3-day Keith Urban thing. Like, he's going to be in Nashville and 2 cities in Alabama this week, and it's my birthday weekend, which I feel like he does it on purpose just for me every 2 years. And my state coordinator for Miss Wheelchair Tennessee was able to pull some strings, and I'm actually going to get to do like a Q&A, like attend a Q&A of Keith, or with Keith, or Keith will be there doing the Q&A. I'll be in the audience, hopefully asking him a question. Yeah, you guys, the fact that you all support me in all of this craziness and all of these projects and all of these crazy ideas, like, it means so much to me. The fact that my coordinator would do this for me coming up, knowing that I'd had, a tough time with the Miss Wheelchair America thing. It is what it is, whatever. But the fact that she would do this for me and make this happen is really incredible. So I'm actually really looking forward to turning 33. Things are a lot better when you get to do what you love to do. And I love listening to music. I love supporting music. And so I'm going to end by saying, if there's something that you're passionate about, there's something that you love doing, pursue it. Please just pursue it, because we need positivity in this world. We need positive messages. We need more people sharing their gifts with the world. So I am going to go enjoy the gift that Keith Urban shares with the world. I'm going to go enjoy 3 Keith Urban concerts 3 nights in a row, and I'm so excited. I'm a total fangirl. It's fine, whatever. I'm not going to apologize actually for that, because he's amazing. And if you've ever been to one of his shows, you understand what I'm talking about. And if you haven't been to one of his shows, you need to go to one of his shows so you can understand what I'm talking about. But anyway, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I am getting close to 600 followers, which I'm super excited about. I know I'm putting a whole lot of excitement into this video right now, but it's because when I talk about Keith Urban, it makes me excited. I can't help it. But honestly, knowing you guys support this, knowing that you guys are with me in the good and the bad, and the exciting and the boring and all of that, like it means so much to me that I can't help but like share my excitement in this. So I'm still working on some more ideas coming up for some new videos, but keep your ideas coming. I want to keep doing what you guys want to see. And yeah, this was just a fun little one that I really, really wanted to do because I felt like I needed to add some positivity back into my channel because I did have a rough couple of weeks. So anyway, I love you guys. Thank you so much for following. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe to my channel and share my videos, share my links, share whatever you want. I love you guys. Thanks. Have a wonderful night.